The search giant on trial. Google's antitrust case. In the pantheon of Silicon Valley, Google is the deity of search, sat enthroned, omnipresent and omniscient. The history books tell us that once upon a time, in the ever-geeky grounds of Stanford University, two curious minds, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, stumbled upon the golden goose of the digital age called as a search algorithm. Oh, but not just any algorithm. It was the PageRank. The world didn't know it yet, but this was the inception of an entity that would come to shape thoughts, determine shopping lists, and, let's be honest, pretty much decide elections. By 1998, the PageRank thesis transformed into Google Incorporation, and the world was introduced to a cleaner, more efficient search experience. The real charm. No annoying pop-up ads. In a digital ecosystem littered with unsolicited interruptions, Google stood out like a minimalist masterpiece in an abstract art gallery. The Big G was viewed as the hallmark of modern innovation, seamlessly integrating itself into our daily routines. Google it became the universal solution to any and every query. And oh boy, did we Google. From how to boil an egg to existential theories of life, no topic was off limits. Fast forward, Google's arsenal expanded. Gmail. The email service launched in 2004, gave Yahoo Mail and Hotmail a run for their money. With its intuitive design, and a then unheard of 1 GB storage, Google was basically handing out digital real estate for free. Android, acquired in 2005, and now it powers over 70% of mobile devices globally. And YouTube, purchased in 2006 for a mere $1.65 billion, soon became the go-to platform for cat videos, DIY failures, and viral sensations. Google's journey wasn't just serendipity sprinkled with genius. It was a strategy. From AdSense's targeted advertising, which turned our browsing habits into a gold mine, to Chrome, the browser introduced in 2008 that boasts over 60% market share. Google wasn't playing checkers. This was 4D chess. But with great power comes, you know the rest. As Google expanded its digital empire, whispers started. While Google was our window to the world, some began to wonder, was it selectively framing our view? Was the giant, under the guise of doing no evil, doing a little bit of mischief? Annie, a sprightly startup founder, saw her app's visibility on Google mysteriously dwindle, almost like it fell off the digital map. Jacob, the journalist with Think for Blood, found diverse information becoming as elusive as a yeti on a summer beach. And Raj, well, he was scratching his head, wondering why his beloved diner, which boasted a delightful chicken tikka sandwich, sank in Google Maps rankings. In the business corridors, murmurs emerged around the mid-2010s. Competitors threw side-eye glances, claiming Google prioritized its own services in search results. A travel company here, a shopping site there, all pointing at the behemoth with claims that it buried their sites while promoting its own services. Statistically speaking, 90% of clicks happen on Google's first page. So, if you're relegated to the next page, Well, good luck in digital oblivion. Come 2011, the Senate Judiciary Committee took the stage, their crosshairs fixed on Google. The hearing wasn't your average afternoon snoozer. Eric Schmidt, Google's then executive chairman, faced an intense grilling. Senators questioned Google's supposed preference for its own services in search results. Schmidt's evasive responses did little to dampen the growing unease. The European Union, ever the watchdog, wasn't having any of it. By 2017, they slapped Google with a record €2.42 billion fine. Why? Allegedly for manipulating shopping search results. According to Margrethe Vestager, the EU's competition commissioner, Google abused its market dominance by promoting its own shopping service and relegating others. By 2020, the Department of Justice, along with 11 states, filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google. The claims were weighty: exclusive business contracts, preferential treatment, and a strategic web of alliances that ensured Google stayed the default search engine on various devices. Talk about being the popular kid in the digital playground. Yet, it wasn't just big corporations waging this war. Remember when Google Street View cars were just harmlessly photographing streets? Well, between 2007 and 2010, they accidentally collected data from unencrypted Wi-Fi networks in more than 30 countries. While they were fined and data was deleted, it left the public pondering the extent of Google's inadvertent peeping. To add salt to the silicon wound, Google's attempts to defend its practices often appeared as if someone had simply Googled how to counter antitrust claims. Their main defense: people use Google because they choose to, not because they're forced to, or because they can't find alternatives. A tad ironic, considering some felt alternatives were exactly what Google was suppressing. In the wake of the EU decisions, Alphabet's, Google's parent company, stock faced increased volatility. Investor confidence, it seems, was not just tied to quarterly earnings, but to the broader narrative of Google's standing in the world. However, ongoing legal battles and the need for compliance changes led to significant operational costs. In the fiscal year following the major fines, their operating expenses surged by 27%, hitting a whopping $50.1 billion. While hefty fines are one thing, many question whether any Google execs would face jail time. After all, when corporations go astray, who's really responsible? While no individual criminal charges were levied in relation to the antitrust cases, the specter of such charges loomed, reminding the tech world that regulations could have very personal implications. The antitrust cases served as a wake-up call, not just for Google, but for the entire tech industry. It was evident that with great power, or market share, came great scrutiny. By 2022, the incessant antitrust trials seemed like the longest rerun of a courtroom drama, with the EU as the persistent prosecutor and Google the perennial defendant. But, as with all legal tussles, settlements were reached, rules were rewritten, and Google made alterations to its practices. Yet, even with its compliance, the billion-dollar question lingered. Had the tech titan genuinely repented? Or was it just better at navigating the legal maze? In a snarky twist of irony, the company that wanted to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible had to learn how to play nice in the vast sandbox of the internet. So, as we close this chapter, was Google the phoenix soaring too close to the sun with waxen wings? In the ever-evolving realm of technology, definitive endings are elusive. But one thing's for certain: in the vast chronicles of the digital age, Google's story will remain a gripping tale of ambition, power, challenges, and the relentless pursuit of innovation. Whatever your search query, that's a result worth pondering upon.